So obviously, I don't care what type of coffee I drink. I'm not too flash. But however, the coffee business and cafes are massive. So in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the best tactics and strategies that we've ever come across to help grow a coffee shop business. If you don't know me, my name is Daniel. Over the past 5 years, my business partner and I have been working with many different hospitality businesses, helping them grow and scale. But naturally, we can't work with everybody, nor does everybody want to work with us. So we just make these videos to share some of the knowledge and also some of the mistakes we've made over the years of how you can effectively market and refine the sales process for hospitality businesses, and you might be able to get some of these golden nuggets from us so you don't have to learn them for yourself. So a fun fact to get us started, the average coffee shop makes about $873 per day in top line revenue. So that's total sales for the day. And the average transaction size for a coffee shop business is about $11. So that's not very high, and that's not a huge amount of revenue per day. But if you're going to simplify it, there's really 3 ways that a coffee shop business or any business in general can grow their revenue. So what they can do is they can increase the average spend per customer. They can have more customers coming through their door, or they could get the same pool of customers that they already have to buy more frequently. So these are really the 3 main factors that are going to increase the revenue of a coffee shop business or any business in general. But I guess over the years, what we've found is a lot of coffee shop businesses actually have a 4th option in which they can tackle to generate more revenue in the top line of their business without really changing many factors of their business at all. And using this sort of 4th avenue to grow the business, it can grow the business fairly confidently between 50 to 70% in top line revenue quite quickly as well, in the matter of a number of months, let's say 2 to 6 months. And so I guess getting to the meat and potatoes of what this 4th thing actually is, it is hosting more private functions or private events within the cafe itself. Cafes or coffee shops, whatever term you want to use, have a commonality, and that is usually they close in the late afternoon, maybe around 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And what that actually means is the evenings are quite free, and the rent is still being paid. There is still employees that could work during those hours. However, the space is sort of just sitting there. So what it actually lends quite nicely to is hosting private functions within the space. These could be birthday parties, baby showers, anniversary parties, wedding parties, Christmas parties, Halloween parties. Any type of corporate or private event could be hosted in a coffee shop in general if your space fits the nature of a private function space. Some things that you would need to keep in mind if you are a coffee shop business and you do want to go down the road of generating more private functions or starting to grow the top line revenue of the business through private functions hosted in the space, is you're probably going to want to make a private function menu or a canapes menu, and you're probably going to want to get a liquor license because most private functions tend to be drinking events. Alcohol also has a very good margin, okay? So you can get a liquor license and just use that liquor license for private functions if you want. You can obviously change the offering of your cafe or coffee shop. If you already have a liquor license, that's a big bonus. If you're not doing private functions already, it's something that I would probably urge you to look at because there is a lot of low-hanging fruit in most local markets, which could easily be taken if you were going to position and market yourself accordingly. Private functions are attractive for a few different reasons. Firstly, they're high ticket sales. So one sale generates multiple thousands of dollars in revenue quite regularly. The staffing pressure required to deliver private functions is not usually that much because you know how many people are going to arrive at the private event, when they're going to arrive, and they might even prepay a bar tab or food. So you already know what is going to be required from a work perspective before the event actually happens. Compared with normal hospitality trade where you open your doors, you don't really know if you're going to be busy or quiet, how much you need to prepare. Very little wastage and very little it's unlikely that you're going to put too much human resource into a private function that you host because you know your numbers. Also, private functions are attractive because the more functions that you do, the more private functions you tend to get because of word of mouth. You start to build a reputation as a go-to function spot in the local market, and that's how you can start to really flywheel your acquisition of private events hosted in your space. So if you are interested in some way of growing the private function side or private event side of your cafe or coffee shop, somewhere around my head somewhere there's going to be some links to some other videos that will help with some marketing strategy and some sales process that can help you market yourself to generate inquiries around private functions and build a tighter sales process so you can close those inquiries into booked functions more easily, so you can get your first one underway. If you're already doing a couple and you want to scale them up, those videos will also help you scale and grow that side of your business. So I hope that made sense to somebody out there. Go implement, and then comment below with any thoughts, feelings, or questions you may have, and we'll tackle those below. Cheers.